Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, Freddy there. Don't you move this time. You better just stay right there. I can see you in the viewfinder. Better not move. I am back with a brand new Top 20 for 2020 video, which was created by the Horror Man and Horrific Nightmares JM. Go subscribe to their channels, go check them out. The theme that was picked for June 15th is 2000s slashers. So basically, slasher films from the year 2000 to 2009. So you got, quite a big gap there to pick out some good slasher films. Now, I'd say 95% of my list are classified as slashers. There are some that are not classified as them, but I guess it's personal preference. Do you consider this movie to be a slasher even though it's not classified as one? Maybe it has slasher elements. Maybe it has certain things that remind you of slasher movies, so therefore you would consider it a slasher film. That's what I did. There are a few of them in here that I picked as slasher films. Either you agree or you don't. It's my list. That's the bottom line. So just my opinions. And yeah, so hope you enjoy the video. Let's get started with number 20, shall we? I'm watching you. Better not move. Alright, number 20. I think this movie's hilarious. I do like the series. There are a couple that, I want to say part 3 is the lamest out of all of them, but it is a scary movie. Now this is considered a horror slasher comedy where they make fun of, horror movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, let's see, The Sixth Sense. There's a lot of them. That's why I didn't like Scary Movie 3, because they make fun of 8 Mile. 8 Mile is not a 8 Mile is not a horror movie. Like, what are they doing? But the Wayans brothers, I don't think, did that one. But my favorite is probably Scary Movie 2, but this one is it's hilarious. I'm sorry. Oh my God, we hit a boot. Yeah, this movie's great. Comes in at number 20 for me. Number 19, I consider this movie to be a slasher film because it has slasher elements based on true events, Wolf Creek. I like this and the sequel, but yeah, John Jarrett, he steals the show. I mean, he doesn't show up until like halfway through the film, but when he does, it's great. When he's like, Mick Taylor, glad to meet ya. He's got that laugh. God, he's hilarious and he's awesome. But a very stylized horror film. Like it's dark and gritty. It's got that feel to it. It's kind of a slow burn in the beginning, but I really think it picks up very well. So Wolf Creek comes in at number 19. Number 18, this was a gift from Dave Maggot a while back. He sent me like a figure and some comic books, and then he gave me this movie, and I really like this movie. I've been wanting it for the longest time, and it is P2, The Next Level of Terror. This is just a fun movie. This is a movie that I rented from the video store when it came out, I remember. And at that time, I used to rent like 2 or 3 movies at once, and I'd never get through them all. How stupid was I? Why would I do that? I don't do that anymore. Like, honestly, I rent 1 movie. If it's due the next day, why the hell would I rent 3? That's stupid. Anyway, I did that with this one. That's why I couldn't remember hardly anything. But you know what? It's a really good movie. So that's number 18. Now, number 17. This is definitely not considered a slasher, but I still think it has a lot of slasher elements, and it's a nice take on The Invisible Man, and that is Hollow Man, with Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth Shue, fantastic cast. Josh Brolin. You Think You're Alone, Think Again. Now the thing is, yeah, this would probably be in my top 10 favorite Kevin Bacon films. Very, very good. What would you do if you were invisible and then you couldn't get back to normal? Like like in this movie, he kind of goes crazy. Really, really awesome. I love this movie. All right, so that's number 17. Number 16 is probably one of my favorite home invasion films, and that is The Strangers, which is definitely, a movie that has a lot of slasher elements. This couple in the middle of nowhere at home, you know, it's dark out. These people start to hunt them down in their house and, you know, kind of play with them and, you know, tie them up and stuff. And, you know, the movie is, this is pretty much a slow burn film. It's very quiet and you know, you could hear the dust specks hitting the floor. And that's how quiet it is. But I just love the characters and I love the villains and stuff. So, you know, because you were home. That's why. Why are you doing this? Because you were home. Duh. Stop being home. Maybe you know, we wouldn't have showed up. Jeez. That's all it takes. Don't stay home during this quarantine. Anyway, coming in at number 15 is a remake that I think is good. I don't think it's great. And it is My Bloody Valentine. I don't like the 3D thing. I don't like the 3D aspect. I thought it was lame. It didn't work at all. You know, when Harry Warden would throw the pickaxe at the screen and it would, you know, it just looks stupid. But I do think there's some good kills. I do not, I'm going to say this, I do not like the twist ending. I think the twist ending doesn't make sense. It's stupid, and that's, I don't want to say it ruined the movie for me because it really didn't. It's just, I wish they would have went another direction with it. I really wish they would have done something else. Other than that, I do like some of the characters in this. And there's also some funny parts. You know, the woman walking outside the hotel room naked gonna shoot the guy driving the truck. You know, the midget lady. There's a lot of funny stuff. But, yeah, My Bloody Valentine, at least mention it. Number 14 is a movie that, when I first saw it, I didn't like it. And I actually rewatched it, and I thought it was actually pretty good now. And it is Urban Legends Final Cut. This is, of course, the next movie in the Urban Legends series, or the second movie, so to say. And, yeah, I actually liked it. What's her name, who plays Brenda Bates? Oh, I forgot her name now. Rebecca, what's her name? What is her name? I forgot. Rebecca whatever, like, she doesn't even have a big part at all in this movie. It's like very, very short. Of course, she was in the first one, but anyway. That's number 14. Number 13, this is a really, really cool film. I also have the sequel, and it is Laid to Rest with Chrome Skull. Yeah, this is a film by Robert Hall. This is the unrated director's cut. Really, really awesome movie. Yeah, Robert Hall did a good job, that one. See, that was number, what? 13. Now we're getting into number 12 here. And it is Scream 3. I love Scream 3. I think this goes back to the first movie more than any of the sequels. And I think it steps it up a bit with the kills and the gore even. But the thing is, what I liked about this movie is that they didn't go have two killers like in all the freaking films. Even Scream 4 is guilty of that. They didn't have two killers. It was one killer, Roman, who was Sidney's brother. Then again, goes back to the first one, going back to Sidney's mother, which they made a big deal out of, you know, in the movies. And this one, they finally touch on it. That's what I loved about it. I mean, I loved how it was just one guy going against everybody. So, I love this film, and I just don't understand the hate, really, for it. Is it? I mean, it is cheesy, but so what? Like the others aren't? I mean, Scream 4 had some of the stupidest lines ever in that movie. But anyway, we'll get to that. Scream 3, that's number 12. Number 11, I don't have the DVD out here, but I will just show this, I guess. That is Freddy vs. Jason. This movie has a lot of problems. I wish Kane Hodder was Jason, because you got Robert Englund in there. That's, you know, one good thing, but they needed Kane Hodder to play Jason. Ken Kirsinger did fine, but I still think it would have been better with Kane in there. Kane's got his own movement. He's got his own way to play Jason. And, you know, the thing is, Ronnie Yu wanted a Frankenstein kind of Jason. That's what he wanted. That's what he said in the special features. He wanted a Frankenstein kind of Jason, who's kind of stiff, kind of robotic. That doesn't work. Okay, you need someone aggressive, that like Kane Hodder going against Freddy. You know how aggressive Freddy was in this movie. Okay. So, but I still like the movie. It's a good versus movie, and that's all I think about it as. So that's number 11. Now we're into my top 10. Now, I've talked about this movie a lot, and it's very gory, and the twist is kind of important to, well, not kind of, I guess it really is a major thing to look into when it actually happens, because then you start to think, well, wow, that really does a 180 on you. So it has an important twist, and it is high tension. A very, very bloody horror classic, so to say. It really is. It will scare the hell out of you. It's got a guy who just all of a sudden bursts into this house, starts killing the parents of these girls, or one of the girls anyway. This other girl's staying there, and like she's trying to hide from this killer. This killer's just walking really slow. He's taking his time. He's like the Terminator. He just walks around with this knife, and they're just walking around, kill somebody, and just walking around. He doesn't care. He walks slower than Jason, and he can't even teleport. Anyway, high tension. Number 10. Coming in at number 9, I like this remake. I know this remake gets a lot of heat and a lot of crap, but I don't know. I thought it was really good, and it is House of Wax. I mean, Chad Michael Murray, Brian Van Holt, Paris Hilton, Jared Padalecki, who was in the Friday the 13th remake as one of the main characters. I really feel bad for him in this movie because he gets a lot of hot wax poured on him and stuff like that. But you know, everyone says Paris Hilton's death was the best thing about this movie. I will agree. I mean, even though, you know, seeing her in the tent, she gets, I want to say fully naked, but she has a bikini on pretty much, or her panties, or whatever she has. It's like she has to do that, you know, because she can't do nothing else. So anyway, I like this remake. I like the characters and the build up to when they get to the town where they have the House of Wax that's completely made of wax. Everything in there is made of wax. Then you got the crazy brothers. It's a good movie. I really think it's one of the better remakes that have come out, especially in that time period. So that was number 9. Number 8. This is an awesome movie, and I don't think this movie gets talked about enough, and it is Identity. Another movie with a great cast. You got John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet, William Lee Scott, Jake Busey, Pruitt Taylor, Vince, and Rebecca De Mornay. Alan Silvestri did the music to this. John Hawkes is also in it. Yeah, this movie, yeah, James Mangold did it, but very, very cool kind of like whodunit film. The Secret Lies Within. So yeah, it's a very, very good one. If you have not seen it, I don't want to like spoil anything, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. That's number 8. Number 7, what is this on here? Get off. See No Evil with Kane. Another great movie. Jacob Goodnight, this tall, bald, kind of like Jason look-alike without a mask, walks around with this chain with a hook on the end and starts killing these teenagers. And it's just really, really cool. Like, he's so intimidating. Like, you could put a hockey mask on this guy, and he would play a great Jason, I think. Like, honestly. I just like the originality here. I feel like this is a really cool character to develop. Now, I can't say the same thing for See No Evil 2, because then they put a mask on him, and it's just like, I think that's just typical. It's like, okay, come on. Like, we've seen this before. Why do you gotta go and put a mask on him? Why? Okay? This is the movie that, this proves you don't need to do that. Okay? The killer's right there. You see who he is. You don't need to do that. So, See No Evil, great movie. That's number 7. Number 6 is Valentine. Another movie that I love. I saw this in the theater and I loved it. You got Denise Richards, Marley Shelton. I had the biggest crush on her since I saw her in The Sandlot as the, the lifeguard who squints kisses. Yeah, Katherine Heigl's in this. Of course, she doesn't last long. But yeah, very, very good movie. Your typical slasher film. Guy in a mask basically goes after these women, and it's supposedly Jeremy Melton, who was a kid who was rejected by all these girls at the dance, and they all made fun of him, and so he's getting back at him basically for not dancing with him, and it's him because his nose starts bleeding every time. That gives it away. Anyway, Valentine. It's a good movie, other than My Bloody Valentine, there's some other ones. You don't really have any good, Valentine Day, movies, horror movies. They need to make more of those, I think. That's number 6. Number 5. I can't talk enough about this movie. I actually did a review on my channel. Vacancy. Love this freaking film. Luke Wilson, Kate Beckinsale. This movie is awesome. It's very, very intense. Definitely a slasher. But these people are making snuff films at this hotel. They get caught in the middle of it and they have to escape. Pretty awesome. And I always mention this, but you can see the extended snuff film, the snuff films and the special features. So if you want to watch those, that's pretty cool. That's number 4 or number 5. Number 4 is of course Hatchet. Victor Crowley. Kane Hodder plays Victor Crowley. That's really cool that he plays Jason and Victor Crowley. But yeah, this is a really, really good slasher film right here. Very gory. I do like the story and the look of Victor Crowley. So practical effects, that's what matters here. And I think other horror films can learn from this one. All right, that's number 4. Number 3 is Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. This is my favorite out of the Wrong Turn movies because I just love the story. This is kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Survivor. The show Survivor, because that's what they're doing. They're playing a game like Survivor, and then the hillbillies basically, they come and start killing these contestants and, interrupting their game show. And the ending to this, the third act, just reminds me of Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, Henry Rollins, who basically acts like Rambo in this movie. It's just a lot of fun. I love the effects, and it's just really, really good. It's definitely my favorite of the sequels too, but like I said, it's my favorite of the franchise. All right, so we're getting on to number 2, The Collector. What more can I say about this movie? It's like, it's kind of like you're trying to keep people from getting in, but in this case, he keeps people from getting out. Like you go in the house and you can't get out of the house. So he sets traps all over this house, like playing with his victims, basically torturing them, and he collects people. He collects certain people and puts them in these big boxes, and hauls them away. And he wears this weird, almost like a Mexican wrestling mask almost. You never see his face, which is pretty cool. But yeah, really, really awesome kind of original villain right there. On to my number 1. This should be no surprise. I think this is an amazing slasher and definitely my favorite horror remake, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I freaking love this movie. It was different enough from the original. It still can't, it still paid homage to the original, but it also was original in its own, on its own, doing different things. R. Lee Ermey as the sheriff. That's something that they put in there that's brand new. Some of the situations were brand new. Some name changes and stuff like that. So really, really this is how you remake a horror movie, in my opinion. This is how you do it, okay? It wasn't rushed. There was nothing rushed about this movie. It was fantastic. The pacing was great. They made Leatherface scary, okay? This is the movie that I think that we got the scariest Leatherface. So that's my number 1 pick. Thank you guys for watching this. Let me know what you think of some of the titles that I mentioned down in the comments. And I'll be back next time with another top 20 for 2020 video, so stay tuned.